Hello. Today I'm going to talk about North Node in Cancer and South Node in Capricorn up to 23 degrees. If you have that, you would also have Rahu in Gemini and Ketu in Sagittarius. So both of these combinations apply to you, so to speak. So let's talk about the North Node in Cancer. Cancer rules the home. Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? So that's the dharma of the person's life. They have to learn to incorporate, to integrate these Cancerian energies. Now with the South Node in Capricorn, it can take on many shapes here. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So there was early in life there's some Saturnine experience the person has. So they experience lack. There's some sort of lack and rigid. So this could be a person who either grows up in a very strict household, where maybe emotions were not really expressed very much, or something very strict about the past here, about the upbringing, and usually a lack. So one person I know, the mother left. The mother might leave, whatever, some form of lack, or they grow up poor, or maybe on welfare, something like that. It can take on many shapes with Capricorn. In terms of wealth, it can be very wealthy or very poor Capricorn, or in between. It's not so. It doesn't tell us so much about that actually. It could be a person from a very conservative family. They have strong conservative values or tradition, or it could just be not that kind of background, but an experience of lack. The person is confronted with the harsh reality of life early on. The South Node in Capricorn makes them very critical. It makes them. It can make them sarcastic. They can be fun to be around actually, because they have a Capricorn can have a very strong sense of humor, but it's dry, it's sarcastic. They like to say no. They have no problem saying no to people early in life. They're very critical. This is a more skeptical generation. Or if you have it in your house, it would be South Node in 10th house. If you have the South Node in your 10th house and the North Node in your 4th house, that's it has the same energy. The 4th house is ruled by Moon, by Cancer. So early in life, the person will the Cancer, the North Node already works. The person already feels drawn to this, and what I've seen, it's funny, I know two people with this combination in the same generation who both worked in insurance early in life, but yet they're not at all that type. They tried it. They tried to do that. They were drawn to the safety, security, but then eventually left. Early in life, people might work in a bank. You might have a very security-oriented job. It can be something very, very normal. You have a very stable job or something, or early marriage. It can also indicate early marriage sometimes, but it's probably not going to last with this. Depends. So Saturn in a person's life in youth, like I say, there's the mentality of lack, so it can also have a negative impact on the person's self-esteem. They might be overly critical with themselves and with others. Also, they're very critical with others. But there's also fear. Like Capricorn also rules fear of failure. So what you see with this combination is either the person is successful early in life. They do build a career. You have to look at other factors here. If Mars is well placed or whatever, the person could very well have a career early in life, something Saturn oriented, even teaching, banking, whatever, you know. But then later in life, they're drawn to the Cancer North Node. Now, there's two things can happen, generally speaking. If the person gets married and has children, so it's actually quite conducive, unless other factors contradict, unless the person gets stuck in their South Node. You know, they might ruin relationships because they're stuck in this South Node. They're stuck in this mentality of deprivation, so to speak. So a person, it can also break a person. I've seen it break people, and they start early in life, but then they totally give up because Saturn, because they're too fearful. So the two variations you see here, you have people who get married, who have children, a family. The older they get, the more they will spend time with their family. The family will take central stage. The person, if it's a woman, she might have children later in life, because it's the North Node. She might have children when she's over 35. You know, she'll probably not have kids early in life. With this combination, it's more later. The other combination would be the other way around. So here people have a family later in life, or they have no family. If they have no children or spouse or whatever, and there's no family, the Cancer pulls them to recreate their own inner mother, so to speak. The reason, if the person is failing in life, it's because they have not recreated their own inner mother, the voice of their inner mother that's nurturing. The Cancer is ruled by Moon, as we all know. It's about your emotions, getting in touch with your emotions, getting in touch with your childlike self. Cancer can be kind of childish, you know. So this person, you don't want to tell anyone to become more childish. They can be actually very childish. They might overdo it. That's the thing. They overdo it. They would overdo it if they get stuck in the victim mode, if they're ruled by fear. In other words. So the Saturn, we should not underestimate Ketu, or South Node in Saturn. The Saturn combination. The person really needs to overcome their fear, and they might have, you know, inferiority complexes, and things of that nature. Because they're very critical. So here in this life, they're here to experience warmth. You know, they're here to experience the warmth, the coziness of a home, the security. They're here to learn about emotional security, emotional. I mean, Cancer is not emotionally stable, but it goes with the flow. Cancer, in a way, it is emotionally stable because here the emotions can flow easily if the energy is good, you know, if it runs smoothly. So the person will have to learn to live with their ups and downs, with their emotions, and that might be difficult for them at first. They might be perfectionists. The people that I've met with this combination, they're much more perfectionist than they realize, you know. Rigid, it can make a person very rigid. Cancer is the opposite, you know. Capricorn it can be the negative qualities of Capricorn. Hold on. So the negative qualities here are being overly critical, being overly stern with people, being too sarcastic, too negative, you know, being too negative. And at the same time, on one hand, they are criticizing others. They might criticize others for being shallow, but at the same time, Capricorn also has this thing about how others see them, you know. So that can also be exaggerated in people like that. They're worried with others, how others see them if they ask for help, for example. You know, Cancer is vulnerable. The Cancer energy will pull people into these experiences if they don't let go voluntarily of this Capricorn energy, it can be quite difficult. They will be pushed into this Cancer energy where they are vulnerable, where they might have to ask for help. They might have to show their vulnerable side and not be in control anymore, because Saturn wants to be in control. It's one of the most controlling planets. Capricorn is one of the most controlling signs out there, right? The moon is not controlling. The moon is receptive. So receptivity is something they will have to learn. And if they have children, that will happen through becoming a parent. If it's in a guy's chart and he becomes a father, later on in life, once he's over 35 or 40, he will have more time for family. These are people, maybe they work in a company, they get paternity leave or something, I don't know. They will have more time with the family. They're forced to stay at home. And the universe will take care of that. If a person is really holding on, maybe they're working, they're a workaholic, they're 40 years old, well, you might have a heart attack and you have to stay home. It could be illness, the nodal axis and us fulfilling our dharma. The universe will use all sorts of magic here to push you into this direction of what you have to learn. And with this axis, you'll probably stay at home more. You might have to create your own business. You might be one of these people who are working in a company all these years, and now during the lockdown, you're just working from home, and it has not changed for you, right? You might be one of the many people who are just working from home now. And they had their career, they had their office career, that's very Capricorn, all these years, And now you're at home, you're with your kids and stuff, and that's meant to be that way. And like I say, people who don't have children with this combination, here it's about being your own mother, and taking care of yourself, and taking care of others around, your friends around you, You might have a maternal role within your circle of friends, for example. So that could happen. Now, the Gemini, the Rahu in Gemini. So if you have your North Node past 23 degree of Cancer, it's very focused on home versus career. And with this combination, unless this falls into the 9th house or the 12th house, you will not go abroad. Your dharma does not consist of leaving your country, your home country. Unless there is a 9th, if you have this in your 9th house, you might leave early on and create a new home in a foreign country. That could happen too. But unless this happens, unless you have this 9th house, you're one of those people who are actually not meant to travel the world so much. You're meant to create a home. You're meant to create a stable home, and be nurturing, be nurtured and be nurturing in your home. And with the Gemini, if you have a Gemini, a Rahu at the same time, and a Sagittarius, so Sagittarius, Ketu, in your early years, you might have traveled, there might be some traveling, you might have foreign roots, you're interested in religion, philosophy, these things. And now with the Gemini North Node, you get to communicate. You get to communicate a lot. You will have more contact with your siblings. If you have brothers and sisters in your second half of life, there'll be more contact with them. If you didn't have contact before so much, there'll be more contact with your family. Maybe you didn't see your family when you were working early in life, or you had your other struggles, whatever struggles you had. You'll see more of them. There'll be more family experience for you, because that's what you're lacking. And you might feel with the North Node, people, it's a constant back and forth. You feel pulled towards, and then you feel drawn back to the security of your South Node. And here, with this combination, is quite interesting, because now we also have Ketu in Sagittarius. Ketu in Sagittarius would be expansive energy. You know, this is Saturn is pulling together. Saturn is density, making things more dense. Jupiter is expansive. So now you have this on your South Node, which is actually a happier combination than having all Saturn. You know, it's generally a bit, the person that has this cheerful or religious background with the Sagittarius South Node. You know, there's some kind of worldliness, spirituality, freedom. It's in a free way. It's not, well, okay, the Saturn, like I say, the Saturn South Node, this could be very religious, actually. This could be a very religious household, not in any negative way, you know. Or it could be the family was traveling, the family moved around. But also here there's this exaggeration with the Sagittarius. And here's it's a bit of a fine line, because the Cancer does pull you into more emotionality. But Cancer is about also expressing, so in Gemini you're supposed to express your authentic emotions, you know, your true emotions and your needs, express your needs, but not in the Sagittarian way. When you talk about, when you tell your partner or others about your emotions, let go of the Sagittarian, you know, like the jokes or whatever, or making it sound like it's nothing or whatever. You have to take yourself serious with this combination. You have to communicate your authentic emotions, and not, and you have to let go of the Sagittarius, which would become a bit fake here. You know, so you find the line, the balance between genuine emotions and how to express them, versus being dramatic, or being either too rigid and dramatic, or both at the same time. You know, these people can be quite dramatic at times, because at most of the time they're very much disciplined. They have a lot of discipline, and then the Sagittarius can also be overbearing. So you have both of these qualities here with the Sagittarius. It could be up and down. You know, the person doesn't know where they fit in. The person feels emotionally. It can also pertain to emotional problems, personality. What is it called? Personality disorders or something like that. Bipolar, I guess bipolar, because these are very contrasting energies with Capricorn and then the Sagittarius. You know, although now you have the Cancer and the Gemini. This is in your neighborhood, you know, this is in your home, this is talking to neighbors. You might be involved with in neighborhood activities, family-oriented, theater, you know, maybe you get interested in theater. Gemini is also into theater, anything speaking. And you're here to learn these qualities, the quality of communicating and finding your own true emotions, you know, expressing yourself in ways that maybe you would have not dared to do it when you were young. At age 20, you would have been afraid, you would have been too much afraid to express yourself, you know, to express your true feelings in such a way as you want to later. And if you let go of the South Node, you will have these opportunities. You will have these opportunities to meet people, you know, with the Gemini, and to express yourself. So it can be challenging, but also very rewarding. So these people can do quite better later in life. I hope this helped. Let me think, is there anything else? or it's, you know, integrate Moon and Mercury. You have to integrate Moon and Mercury energies and find this balance. You will have this opportunity, and you will have security in your life. You will have some form of home. You will have security. You're not going to move around very much, you know. Focus on your home. Focus on decorating your home. Don't refuse to care about that. Okay, I hope this helped. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed something. You know, take care.